which is fine. It's gonna be recorded either way.
All right, it's recording.
All right, cool. All right, so welcome everyone to our week 9 general meeting. So I know we haven't had one in like a couple weeks, but it's just we were trying to get assimilated with like obtaining like the parts that we need, and so we've just been kind of working like in the background, fixing some things, and then just trying to see how we progress from here. So thank you all for coming. And then we'll just probably start with the general updates or general club updates from my part. So yeah, okay, thanks. So for the most part, the main one is that we're gonna start having weekly meetings with Shan. These begin this Saturday at 9 a.m. So these meetings are just kind of so we can inform him on like how we've been working throughout the week, as well as like to get some feedback on like things that we still need to finish up before we can actually like start testing things. So I mean, for the most part, these not everyone is required to come, but if you kind of want to get like that first-hand experience as to how like a senior design team meeting would is going to be kind of carried on, this is a good experience. For the most part, it's going to be leads and myself at these meetings. So, but I would want like general members, like if you've been working on like a component for the EE team or like for the software team and kind of want to present it to Shan, this is a really good experience. So I kind of welcome that. Gary suggested it, and I think it's a really good idea. If you kind of if you're shy, this is a really good idea to try to like put yourself out there. Shen gives really good feedback. He doesn't mean to like hurt you, but he wants to see you kind of progress. So just kind of go with an open mind there. That's the first one. It's gonna be an early meeting, so yeah, like I said, 9 a.m. If you guys do want to come, just reach out to us so then we can send you guys the link. Um, Another thing is we just recently obtained like a new parts list for the ME team and the EE team. So our treasurer Abel, he's filling out the paperwork and he still has to kind of go to ASI to get like those parts approved. And once they're approved, we'll be able to order them like in the coming weeks, maybe like 2 3 weeks from now. But for the most part, he has to go through like ASI. It's a lot of paperwork, so just kind of throwing that out there. Um, and another one is for the IGVC report. We're gonna start drafting it, like the first like version of it. So obviously, it's gonna be like a really long report. This isn't gonna be like like a 10-page report. It's probably gonna be maybe like 30 40 pages. There is a lot to discuss, so I kind of want to get everyone involved. It's not just gonna be like the board. I know there's a lot of like general members that like work on like specific components throughout like their time, like with their like designated like sub team. So I do kind of want to incorporate like your parts like as to like what you're working on because like the leads they can't write everything, so we kind of just want to obtain pieces from everyone's parts and then just kind of piece it together. I think that's probably the most efficient way to do it. But yeah, for the most part, that's like our general club updates for this week. If you guys have any questions, just let me know, or you could write on the chat. For the most part, yeah, that's all I have for you guys for this week. Um, if we don't have any more questions, we can move on to like the mechanical team update. Oh, and the other sub team updates.
All right. So this is the mechanical team update. So currently, I'm having teams and individuals create their own designs with the current parts list that we have right now, and that's due this Friday. Um, and we're pretty much meeting up every Saturday to discuss tasks, concepts, and progress. So this Friday, or actually this Saturday, we're gonna kind of discuss together as a team which iteration we're gonna pick, and based off of that iteration, we're gonna do some modeling and some simulation on that design. So we're basically going to model the acceleration, velocity, and position for the robot, and that's kind of dependent on the design, and do some FEA and CFD analysis to get some more accurate numbers. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, cool. Gary's not going to be able to be here today, so I'm going to kind of fill in his role. So what they've been currently working on is they've been doing a lot of electrical workshops. I know he had one this past week. It was really good. Yeah, so another thing, just kind of keep up with like if you weren't able to attend like these workshops, they're always posted on YouTube. So just try to like play them back. Gary goes into really good detail, so that just makes the video that much more helpful. Um, Another thing they've been working on is the remote controller team has figured out a way to implement the battery life. So uh, yeah, so there's like that's currently like one of like the components on the EE team that they've been working on. So for the most part, he'll give us an update soon, but he just kind of wanted to let us know that they were able to extend the battery life on it. Another thing is they figured out um, one possible method for the wireless kill switch. Again, um, he'll get us like a more in-depth update on that. So that's just currently what they're working on. And then he also did some trade studies among different receivers and transmitters. For the future updates, I mean, I'm assuming these are like from 1 to 2 weeks possibly. It's just to continue doing some research on these trade studies. What they're planning to also do is integrating electrical components by designing their own PCB. I know Shannon is really heavy on that, so I think on this first meeting he's probably going to give us like something more in depth as to how we should approach this because he does want us to create our own PCB boards. So um, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how we do that. Another thing is I gave Gary has the motors already, so what they're gonna start doing is actually like testing them because I know before we left off, like before like quarantine happened, we were like in the initial stages of testing these motors, um, and we're also like in the process of kind of like seeing how we're gonna get the TX2. I know we left ours in the lab, so I'm not sure if we're gonna order another one, but we'll keep you guys updated on that as well. And then he for another like a future test is the implementation of fuses. So yeah, we'll see how that goes in the coming weeks. But, yeah, I think that was everything for the electrical team. I know we had Marcelo in there. I think he could give us like a more in depth like electrical team update. So I don't know. Was I missing something, Marcelo?
Oh yeah. I guess there was more updates for the remote controller team because there was also the power distribution team that I'm in, and right now we were just kind of we were still looking at the different parts like the TX2, and we were like trying to see like how much we were like just like we were looking at things like we were specifically focusing on the TX2, the DC motor, and what Gary had been like telling us like what he was like what our general goal was for like the future
Mhm.
was to kind of draw out like a system of like draw out like a general system, and he gave us like kind of a template to use because we have to like refer to the parts from our parts list.
Yeah.
But that's I guess that's the from what I know those are the only other things for the future that the electrical team, I guess specifically the power distribution team, is going to be working on.
Okay. Thank you, Marcelo. Yeah, like I said, Shen is really open to like helping us with the power distribution. So, I mean, if you ever have any questions, he's also another good like point of reference. So it's definitely going to be brought up like in this week's meeting. So we'll definitely get you more information on that because I know it's new for a lot of us. So, but keep up the good work, Marcelo. Thank you for that. And I think that wraps up for the electrical team update.
Sorry, I have
Martin, you
a
want
quick
to?
question.
Oh, what's
My
up?
bad. I have a quick question real quick. For the electrical team, have you can you go back to the slide? My bad. I kind of forgot what I want to ask. Okay, there now I remember. So in respect to the motor kill switch, Do you know the specifics or the general methodology on how that's going to be done exactly? Is it just
Yeah.
is it like a literal switch or is it something more than that?
When I was talking to Gary, that he mentioned a switch. I don't know if, but that was like a week ago when I started talking to him about that. I don't know. Is there was there something else that you guys had in mind, Marcel, or are you unaware about the kill switch?
Well, I was aware of the kill switch, but I wasn't aware of there being an actual physical button. That's all I had been aware of because I didn't really know much about what was happening on the remote controller side because I know that they were looking at using there was like I believe a PS2 controller method and then they were looking at getting like they were looking like on Amazon as well or like on different shops like for like actual like for I guess like already like made controllers. But the main issue they were like running into was the 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 effective distance of the Bluetooth range because it was only I think it was extending only as far as 10 meters. But yeah, that's just a general information I know about the remote controller
Um,
team. I don't know anything about a physical switch though.
for the Switch, it'll be controlled by the Arduino. It'll be controlling a circuit. So the Arduino will say if it's open circuit or closed circuit.
Oh, okay, I
Yeah.
see.
Okay.
The remote control, we're choosing on a longer range. So PS2, I don't think it'll be viable. But
Yeah.
the other portion where it sends information back for battery life status, velocity in miles per hour, um, we have that down. The module we're using at the moment has a range of 500 feet. I'm not sure if that's reasonable.
All right. My
What
only concern
was?
about sorry.
I was just gonna
Well,
ask
sorry.
what was wrong with 30 feet.
It has
I
to be
don't know.
one. It has to be 100 feet. No, it has to be 100 feet minimum for the remote controller,
Okay. Yeah.
as far as I
I
understand
think
the
we can get
IGBT is.
a pre-made controller that's has about over 100 feet. I think we're fine on that.
And for the remote controller, sorry, let me just specify real quick. For the remote controller, what you guys are working on, you guys are doing the remote controller like for the kill, like the wireless kill switch, right? Or
We're
is it
doing
something
we're doing a remote controller to drive, and then also
drive?
on the remote controller, it will be able to send a signal to the Arduino to control the module to open or close the circuit.
Hmm.
So that will
Okay, got it.
the kill switch will be on the controller also.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you for that update, Audrey. Yeah, Gary couldn't make it, but that definitely helps a lot for as in terms of an update. So, yeah. Well, did I miss anything? In terms of like all that, I think you guys kind of covered everything. I know Gary told me there was like a big breakthrough on like the controller team. So I mean, I'm pretty sure that was it. So, but yeah, yeah, I think we're good on here then. Ari, you want to go over your kind of updates?
Yeah, sure. And whoever it is switches slides. Yeah, okay. Cool. So yeah, so currently what we're doing, like the main task right now is just to set up that full ROS node setup. That's the photo in the bottom left. So that's what our CS team, like their job is right now. And we've been meeting up every Saturday, just like the ME team, but our time is at 12:30. And for now, all we've been doing is just like going over this ROS node thing and just like talking about random questions and things like that. Yeah, so our two teams are the state machine team and the computer vision team, and we decided a couple weeks ago that we wouldn't split up into the teams just yet because I'm still teaching the workshops. So this Friday I have the last state machine workshop, and then there's 3 computer vision workshops after that, and then we're done with all of the CS workshops. So probably after this Friday, the people that want to work on state machine stuff, I can start giving them tasks. But the computer vision people will probably have to wait until the end of those workshops. Yeah, but for future stuff, it's just like getting that smash layout in the top right set up and like starting to code all the states and computer vision stuff is getting through the workshops and then starting to think about like what data do we want to send, then going into algorithms and all that fun stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
I guess this question goes out to kind of like the ME team. So do you guys think like within a month we'll probably have that the new chassis built and kind of ready to test?
I say we
Yeah, depends on kind of depends on what the final iteration has in terms of T slot. If because we just ordered new T slots, right? And I'm not sure when that's going to
Well,
arrive.
we have to go through like that ASI kind of like screening or whatever, and then once we get approved, we can order them as soon as possible. And I think next week is like when we have like that meeting where Abel has to kind of like go and get the parts approved. So then in a week we'll know, give or take.
No,
So,
we-
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, somebody was asking about TX2 earlier. Was that you, Richard?
Oh yeah, I mentioned it. Any
Yeah.
updates with Shen or?
I just texted Shen a few minutes ago. He said he was too busy this week, and we'll try for next week to get the TX2s.
Yeah. Do you want to put that on the parts list just in case? I mean, if it gets approved, it gets approved, you know.
I mean, I could. Yeah, I'll just throw one on there, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, just throw one on. Yeah, just in case. I mean, just in case Shen doesn't go back like anytime soon, we always have that as a backup plan.
So if we put it on the parts list, we don't have to buy it.
Yeah, you don't have to buy it.
Okay, sure. then I'll throw one
It
on.
only gets approved, but you only get reimbursed for what you buy.
Okay, got it. Sure.
Yeah, so just kind of do it as a safety precaution. But yeah, Tim, in terms of that, so let's kind of give it like maybe a month from now to where we start testing and have it built.
Yeah, we should be able to have something within a month.
All right, cool. Yeah, I guess for the next kind of like updates, just probably set like a date for that, like a specific date as to when. Because I mean, after this week, obviously you'll know like the final iteration, so you'll be better able to kind of plan like an expected completed date.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, cool. Is there any questions from us from like the team for us? Or for the most part, is it kind of clear? Yeah. I guess everything was kind of straightforward then. But yeah, I mean, if there's no other questions, then yeah, I guess we can end the meeting early today. These are just kind of like some weekly updates. Obviously, we'll have these every week. So,
actually, I kind of have a question for Aaron.
What's up?
For the computer vision part, I thought we had something about computer vision figured out pre-COVID-19. I could definitely be wrong, obviously, but
So last year, what I got done was like basic object detection. So I had like a little photo and I like on the back of my laptop and I got it to detect that. And John, I think he got some sort of lane detection working, but he had a lot of problems with it.
okay.
So I'm gonna look back and see what he got done. But yeah, so like the plan right now is this Friday would be like a state machine workshop. The one after that is just intro to computer vision, and then object detection, and then the last one is lane detection. And object detection is more on like the robo side, and lane detection is obviously more for like ASMEs.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got like 3 weeks to get that set up.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, gives us more time to finish up like this chassis. So yeah, I mean, a month from now seems attainable to start testing somewhat. So yeah, let's just try to keep that in the back burner. But definitely, I think we're on the right track. So let's just keep it moving forward. Those are really good like team updates. So yeah, I guess that was pretty much it, right? I didn't miss anything. I think we're pretty much good. Yeah, I mean, if there's no other questions.